Yo, Allie. So I, like, could have set up my little area that I've been filming in and stuff, but then I just didn't. Like, I literally just watched your video. I'm sitting on the ground because I was story about why I'm sitting on the ground later. And I was watching your video, and then just my camera was next to me, and I was like, let's just do it here. So, is this in focus? God damn it, it's never in fucking focus. Hey, what's up, fam? It's been a really long time. It has not actually been that long. Technically, this is really good for me for, like, a response. It's only been, like, a week, but it just felt like I was, like, responding to your videos right away after you made them. I had a good thing going, but that was really before orientation started, like, actually happening. And I've been trying to make an effort to, like, bond with all of the orientation leaders, so every time someone's like, hey, do you guys want to do this thing, I'm always like, yeah. Like, one of the orientation leaders, Lexi, she's trying to find an apartment, and on the group chat yesterday she was like, could someone go with me to, like, check out this apartment because I don't want to go alone? And I was like, yeah, I'll be there, man. So I've been doing a lot of that, and this is, like, the most hanging out I've ever done in my life, and we've only known each other for 2 weeks. Like, we just met 2 weeks ago, and I feel like I've known all of them, like, my whole life, which is crazy. And yeah, I thought it was gonna be, like, weird to transition from, like, being alone all the time, well, not being alone all the time, but, like, being alone most of the time to, like, hanging out most of the time, and it was, like, super not weird. And then I was like, oh, but maybe during the school year I'm gonna be sad that I don't get to hang out as much. And then I was like, no, I won't, because school year's gonna start, and then I'm gonna have hella work, and I'm gonna be really happy that I'm surrounded by work again, because when I don't have constant work, I don't know what to do with, like, my body. So, but now I just happen to, like, have all these friends along for the ride, so that's really cool. It was amazing that we got done hanging out so early yesterday, because I've been coming back at all hours of the night, my poor roommate. Yeah, and just I'm coming back just, like, very fucked up, and then, like, last night, when I went to bed, I was like, oh my god, like, I have, like, a conscious awareness of going to bed, and I, like, brushed my teeth and put my retainer in, good for me, and I, like, woke up this morning and I was like, oh my god, I'm sober this morning, that's crazy. And I was, like, thinking that I feel like my diet all week has been, like vodka and pot and Lay's potato chips, which is awesome. Like, that's awesome. I wouldn't have wanted it to be any other way. This has been a great week. Just hanging out, just talking with everyone, getting to know everyone. We've gone to see a bunch of shows, like, a bunch of them are comedy majors, and we've gone to, like, all these improv shows that they're in, and they're so great. And going to see Swiss Army Man with 2 of the orientation leaders was, like, the best thing that I've done all year. Like, it was the most fun day ever. What a great movie. I've been telling all the new students that I go up to, like, you need to go see Swiss Army Man, it's so good. Like, I heard some kids, the day that we were doing orientation for the cinema, art, and science people, I heard some kids talking about how Jurassic Park was their favorite movie, and I was like, you like Jurassic Park? You need to go see Swiss Army Man, it's so good. That's a reference you would get if you had seen Swiss Army Man, but just go watch it and then you'll get it. It doesn't come out till July 1st, but anyway, go watch it. We were just talking about, like, me and the other orientation leaders were talking about, like, going to see it again, because, like, only 3 of us got to go, because you have to be a film major to get, like, the special advanced screening passes or whatever, so we couldn't really invite everyone, because they have, like, a limited number of passes. But when it comes out, like, for everybody, we're gonna go see it again, and I want to, like, buy it. It was just like when I went to go see The Witch, when I went to, like, I got a ticket for the advanced screening of this too, but when I went to go see this, it was, like, the greatest movie I'd ever seen, and I was like, I will buy this movie on Blu-ray. It was so great, and the minute it came out on DVD, I bought it, and I'm gonna do the same thing with Swiss Army Man. It was amazing. And they all come from the same studio, A24, and their movies have been so fucking good this year. A24 is, like, the best movie studio ever. I just want to watch everything that they release. It's, oh my god, man. They're, like, the most creative and unique movies I've seen in forever. Like, whatever, anyway. I know you're probably going to be all excited to see that I'm, like, all happy right now. Not that I'm not usually happy, but I just have, like, a lot going on. I feel like I usually have less going on, because it's just, like, me chilling in my room getting shit done. But, yes, I've been very busy. I have to leave in 20 minutes. It's, like, 9:10 right now in the morning, and usually we start work at, like, 10:30. But today we're doing this thing at 10 where we're gonna, so, like, I want to try to remember her job title. I think she's, like, the director of student activities or something. She's, like, one of our bosses. She's so cool. Her name's Carrie Summers. You would love her. She's kind of like an older looking lady, but she's, like, super hip, and she has this cool tattoo right here that I guess one of the orientation leaders last summer gave her. Like, they were just like, oh yeah, I do tattoos, and she was like, oh my god, tat me up, and she's so cool. Anyway, she's telling us that she went to this party once, a little after her brother was diagnosed with AIDS, there was like a party for him, and everybody got like these tiny plants, and they planted like a dream garden. So like they'd get a little object and they would plant it in the soil, and that would be like their dream. And like someone brought, I don't remember, I think someone brought like a little like cradle because they wanted to have they were hoping they could have a baby. And somebody, all of the things that she was telling us were like really profound, but then the last thing she said was like somebody brought a little what is it called, hourglass? Is that, someone brought a little hourglass because they wanted her brother to have more time. And I don't know, that's really sweet. I was like, Carrie, shit, like you're gonna make me cry. So she was thinking that would be a good idea if we, this year for orientation, we did that with all of the new students, if they brought like a little object and we planted it, and that's like their dream while they're here at Columbia and like while they're here in Chicago. And so before we do it with the students, all the orientation leaders are gonna do it. So like I knew that I was gonna wait until the last minute to find my object. Like I knew it was gonna be the morning of, which is what happened. Cause like I don't know, I've been coming back late, and also just cause like laziness, and I knew I was gonna like bullshit it, cause I didn't know what I could possibly plan. But then something profound happened, and I was like, I was going through like a bunch of bags. So the reason I'm on the floor is because there's a bunch of like bags of shit that I haven't unpacked yet that's like all over my bed, and that's like all my little knickknacks and other stuff that I haven't decorated the room with yet. But I found this little book, and so I was thinking, like, what is the most me thing to plant? Like, what is one of my favorite things that I own? And I feel like my favorite things that I own, I mean, that I could, the first thing that came to mind was like my books, which my bookshelf looks so cute right now. So yeah, but I was like, I don't want to plant a book. I wouldn't like that. And also I don't want to plant anything that I would like want to like keep. Like it has to be something that I'm like comfortable parting with. And so the story is, I think I was with, who was I with? Damn, I was with somebody walking on the train tracks by Wendy's, and I like bent over and I found this little gold book on the ground, and I think it's like, this is the book. Let me like so you can see it. I think it's like chapstick. So it's kind of gross. I never really opened it, but it looks really cute on the outside, which is why I kept it. Like I just like the way that it looks. But so yeah, I'm gonna plant this, and I think I came up with like a little spiel for it because like I feel like here's to like reading more books, because I want to read like all the books ever. I want to be like Donald Gleason's dad in About Time and just like read every book ever, even though I know it's not possible. Goals. Here's to more reading, more learning, like learning something new every day, because I feel like learning is my favorite thing. And just words and ideas that change the world, because I feel like that's why I wanted to do the arts, was so I could like affect other people. So yeah, it turned really cute. I knew that I knew I was gonna find some object, because like I feel like every object I own has like meaning to me. Even like the ball of yarn I have in the corner like has some sort of like meaning. So I knew that whatever object I found, I would be able to like attach a cute story to. But like this was like especially cute. I was like proud of myself. So anyway, and I thought about just like not making a video, but I knew I would forget about a lot of my notes that I made about your video if I didn't just do it now. So I'm gonna do that real fast. Also, important note, the roommate and I are talking. Like yesterday, it was just random, like all the roommates happened to be in the kitchen, and we were bonding over the fact that someone, I don't know if you saw my Snapchat story, but someone, like, I have a bunch of apples on the table for like people to eat if they want, and somebody took an apple and like bit into it and then like put it back, but it's not like a bite, like they bit out of it, it's just like teeth. And then just left it there. Either that or like it got dropped and it looks like teeth, but like I don't know. And I was like asking the roommates like, hey, would you happen to have, I don't know, like come into the kitchen like, hey, I want an apple. Just kidding. Like, because I just like, I'm not even mad, I just want to understand like why, you know. So we were like all in the kitchen talking and like getting to know each other, and it was like really, really cool. And I felt like I worked through a lot of stuff with Lauren, and I was like, hey, you know, like I feel like we never really talk, and like it makes me feel really bad that I never say like have a good day when you leave, or like how was your day when I come back. And it's just like, because we live in the exact same room and it's not that big a room, like I just feel kind of shitty. There's not enough communication. And she was like, yeah, I mean, I totally understand, like I thought it was kind of weird too, like, but we've bonded. And she watches The Fosters and I watch The Fosters, even though like I acknowledge that The Fosters is kind of a shitty TV show. I won't tell her that. And so like I found out that she watches The Fosters, and she was like, do you want to watch it with me next Monday? And I was like, Lauren. So that's really cool. And like my other roommate, she lived in like Singapore for 10 years, and that's really cool. And not even she, it's they. Like I found out that their pronouns were they, them. I didn't even know. I've been calling them she learning things every day. And then my other roommate over here, Taylor, oh my god, Allie, so I called you yesterday and you didn't answer, and I wish you would have answered because my roommate is Jewish. She's Jewish, Allie. I'm so excited. Listen, so like she told me that she was Jewish, and I like flipped out and I did a little dance all over the kitchen, and I'm sure all the other roommates were like, wow, this girl's really weird, I hope she's not a serial killer. And I like ran and I got my little dreidel, and she like spun my dreidel for me, and I almost cried, and so I called you and you didn't answer, and I was like, oh my god, I was fast. And I was like, did you have a bat mitzvah? And she was like, yeah. And I was like, oh. And you had to go to band practice. She's like in this band, and she like, it's like a folk band, and she plays cello. There's like 2 cellos, and oh my god, it's so cool. Anyway, so yeah, she had to go to band practice, and I was like, okay, see ya. And then under my breath I went, shalom. It was so exciting. Okay, so anyway, that doesn't matter. So things are really like coming up waters right now. Like it's been a pretty good time. So this morning I was trying to find something to like plant. I was getting kind of passive aggressive because I couldn't find anything. I was like, I can't find anything. Like I don't have any dreams. Like because I feel like, like I haven't woken up from this one yet. That was cute. Okay, so I'm gonna run through my notes really fast because I gotta like bounce soon. So number 1, my shirt. I don't know why I wrote my shirt, because you like figured out what my shirt was. I think I like wrote it while you were saying like, what is your shirt? And I was like, oh, okay, I'll tell her about my shirt, but like you figured it out. I fucking love that Music Man shirt. Music Man was the first musical I saw at the high school, and the second ever play I saw at the high school, and I thought it was so cool. And I remember I didn't really know Amanda Miller, but like I thought that she was like the greatest singer ever. She and Chris Humphries wasn't in that musical, but like I remember being like a little junior high kid or like freshman and like hearing Chris Humphries sing in Mid's Ensemble and thinking like he had like the most pure, beautiful voice in the entire universe, and that's how I felt about Amanda Miller. I want to say that I went to the Music Man the night that like the like ceiling fell on her head and she had to go to the hospital, like that whole dramatic thing. Okay, like I had seen the Music Man a little bit before I went to go see the play, and then but I had like forgotten about it, and then I saw the play, and then I went and watched the movie, and I remember thinking that like our play was so much better than the movie The Music Man. Like I don't know, like I thought the talent was so much better, and like everything was so perfect, and like of course they would cast Corey Bloom as the cocky asshole because he's a cocky asshole, and of course they would cast Michelle Kinney and Morgan Buick as like the little girl characters, because I don't know, it was like it was great. So yeah, when you were talking about the proper pronunciation of wiener dog, which is what I'm just gonna say from now on, you like really built me up because you were like, I had confidence in you. I was like, she could be right, and then I was like, yeah, and then you were like, but you weren't, and then you really know how to like lift someone up and then tear them down, Allie. I just wanted to like let you know. You're talking about the movie I watched at your house. It's called Calvary, and I remember like thinking like while I was watching it that you wouldn't like it, and I still kind of feel like it's not really something you would like, because a lot of the reason I watched it was because of the actors that are in it that I like. It just has a bunch of Irish actors I like. Donald Gleeson, his father Brendan Gleeson is in it, who plays Mad-Eye Moody in the Harry Potter movies, and Chris Dowd from Bridesmaids, who plays the cop in Bridesmaids. Oh my god, it was so good. And there was like this cool, so like there's all these very, very Irish, like small town Ireland people in the movie. It's like the cast, and then there's this one dude from, I want to say he's like Italian, this random Italian dude that's there, and every time he sees the priest, who's the main character, like the priest goes door to door and like checks up on people and is like, how's your day, like have you said your prayers, like whatever. Every time like he sees the priest, he's like, hey father, what do you see, what do you say? And I thought that was really cool, and I was like, I'm gonna start saying that to people, and then I was like, no I'm not, that's really weird. But yeah, I did watch it twice. It was so fucking good, and I watched it. When I was watching it, I knew that Donald Gleeson was in it, and I knew he was playing the part of this I want to say he was like a child rapist / murderer that was in prison, which I know sounds very like, ugh, but like I was excited to see what he would do with a character like that, because he's so amazing to be able to play like these people that are like are so like kind and like gentle and like beautiful that you would like trust, and then like these like really harsh evil characters like General Hux in Star Wars, and I just wanted to like see how it would be. And he somehow made like this horrible character like so gentle and like, I don't know, like it's just profound. And he has this great scene with his dad, and he's like the priest comes because he's on death row, and he's like trying to give him like his final blessings before he gets killed. And at first the Donald Gleeson is like joking around about like killing all those little girls and like raping them, and like he's kind of indifferent about it, and the priest is like, if you're gonna be this way, like I'm gonna leave because you're being kind of gross. And he like breaks down and gets really serious. It's like the best scene. And he's like, he like looks at the priest and he's like, I don't know why I do these things, but like, if God made me this way, then he has to understand me. Somebody understands me, right? And the priest just looks at him and goes, I don't know, and leaves. And like, he just leaves him there. Like, he's so, I don't know, like, you'd have to watch it to explain it, but it's so great for so many reasons. And after I saw it, I was so like, it took my breath away, and I had to like rewatch that exact scene like 2 more times because it was amazing. Yeah, it's called Calvary. It's on Xfinity Stream Picks if you're ever like kind of curious, but like, I don't know if it's really your thing. But yeah, my sleep schedule. Yeah, I mean, my sleep schedule is that I don't do it. I don't, like, during the school year, I try really hard to sleep as little as possible, and I will only do it if I have, like, if I know that I don't have a lot of homework or, like, work one night and I can get away with going to bed, then I'll, like, squeeze in time, just only because I need to have, the only time, like, when I will go to sleep for the night is, like, so I can have more time to not have to sleep later, because, like, I know I'm going to be really busy for the rest of the week, so I try hard to, like, never sleep, and typically, I've never gone more than like 3 days without sleeping at all, but typically I'll sleep for like 2 to 4 hours a night on like a regular schedule. But I don't like doing it at all during the school year. 9 to 11 is still my crash time. It honestly, weirdly enough, started when I was watching Fairly Odd Parents one night. There's an episode where Timmy's trying to like stay up and watch some TV show with his parents, but he always falls asleep at 9 o'clock. Like, there's something about 9 o'clock, like right when the clock strikes 9 o'clock, he's like out. And after that happened, I was like, oh, that's really weird. And then I noticed that I was doing it too, and that's always been the time. So even during the school year, that's the hardest time to fight to stay awake, but once I make it past, then I'm fine. So usually when you have me over at your house to watch movies, it always falls in that time period, so like that is why I'm crashing, because that's usually what happens. And oftentimes I feel like we have impromptu movie times. Like, it's not like you told me earlier in the day, like, come over tonight. It's like, hey, what are you doing? Do you want to watch a movie? And then I don't have time to like run to Celite and get a coffee or like find a bunch of caffeine somewhere, and because we're just like sitting, I can't stay awake. Like, if we were, honestly, if your treadmill was in that TV room, I would walk on the treadmill and try to stay awake. I did know you had a treadmill. I've seen your treadmill, and once I asked if I could like run on your treadmill, and I think you said no. It was a long time ago though, because I think I was like joking around about being in your parents' room, and you didn't want me to be in your parents' room, so you were kind of like, just like stay out of that space. But yeah, so my sleep schedule during the summer has honestly just been, like, to be straight up, this last week, it's just been, like, me coming back at, like, 2 or 3 in the morning, like, really drunk, and, like, just falling on the bed and going to sleep. So, like, I can't give you, like, an accurate, like, description of it, but during the summer, I just go to sleep when I'm tired, which I'm always tired, so, like, I have, like, a very, very normal sleep schedule. If it's around, like, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, especially because Lauren goes to bed around 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock, and I try to be respectful as far as, like, the lights in the room, like, it's usually when I'll go to bed. I haven't felt compelled to stay up that much. I had one night when it was, like, thunderstorming outside, and I love when there's a thunderstorm outside, and I'm in for the rest of the day, because I think it's the most beautiful thing when it's, like, gray outside and the windows are open and you can just see the rain and hear the thunder, and you're watching a scary movie, like, by yourself. That's like the greatest thing, because I feel so in the mood for scary movies. So I like stayed up that night and watched a bunch of scary movies, and it was cool. I watched this one that was kind of shit, but like the premise was really, really cool, so I was really disappointed that it was terrible. But it was called The House is October Built, and the reason I watched it was because I was like, oh, that title's really cool. And it was about these 5 people that these 5 friends are trying to find the scariest haunted house in the South, which, already, bad idea. I wouldn't want to go to, like, a regular house in the South, to be honest, because, you know, I'm black. So, anyway, it was, genuinely pretty terrifying, mostly because, like, people always say that jump scares are, like, a lazy thing to do in horror movies, and like horror movies excessively use jump scares now, which I think is true, but in that scenario, like, it worked so well to have jump scare after jump scare, because it was literally about being in haunted houses, and haunted houses are jump scares, so it was like, I don't know, it was cool. And so, let's see, treadmill. I love treadmills. I wrote that in bold, like, I know you have treadmill. I love treadmills. Do I watch things when I run? Like, sometimes. I feel like I watch a lot of True Blood when I run, because, like, I've seen every episode of that show at least 5 times. I want to say, other than Buffy the Vampire Slayer and Buffy the Vampire Slayer and something else. Shameless, probably, and Family Guy. I've seen True Blood the most, like, over and over again as a TV show. Because there's a lot of TV shows that I'll go back and watch episodes of it that I like, but those TV shows I'll consistently, like, I'll finish it, and then I'll go back to season 1 and just, like, watch it again. And also, like, Skins. Just because, like, I like them, and they're nice to just, like, play in the background when I'm trying to, like, focus on things. Because I've said before that I like to watch documentaries or, like, TV shows when I'm doing my homework, because I like for my right brain to be occupied so my left brain can focus, because if not, then there's, like, too much going on. And sometimes I can watch things I haven't seen before, and it's fine, but if I'm really trying to focus on something, it needs to be something I've seen before that I can only sort of pay attention to, and so that is something that I would watch on the treadmill, but more often than not, I don't like to watch stuff on the treadmill, actually, because, and we do have TVs in the room with the treadmills, and the treadmills are not in a gym, they're in my apartment building downstairs, which is really convenient, but I don't, because I don't like watching it on the TV, because I don't like having to read it, because I'm bouncing up and down and it stresses me out, and they don't play it out loud typically, and I also really do not like the delay, so, like, when there's the subtitles, there's a delay with what their lips are saying, and that fucks me up, so, like, I have to watch it on my phone, and it's, like, stressful to have, like, the tiny screen and be running on the treadmill, and so, like, I will do it sometimes, and sometimes it's really nice, but usually I will listen to music. I listen to a lot of rap music when I run, mostly rap music, actually not mostly rap music, exclusively rap music. I love listening to Lil Wayne when I run, because, like, Lil Wayne and Eminem were, like, the first rappers that I ever listened to, so, like, a lot of OG jams from those two, lots of Tyler the Creator, especially the song Yonkers. I really love that song, and it's, like, a good running song. I hear it and I'm like, oh, it's time. Nicki Minaj a lot, Drake, I really like Drake right now, so yeah, that's usually what I do when I'm on treadmill. Let's see, I'm gonna do this later, because it's now 9:29. I'm gonna, like, breeze through this list, but I was gonna give you, like, 10 rap songs to listen to this week, but I'll come back and do this later. You're talking about asthma. I also have asthma. I know that struggle, especially that day. I don't know if I've told you the story about when we had track practice, or we had, like, a track meet, and a bunch of us were running events we didn't want to run, and so a bunch of us, like, scratched, and the next day at practice we had to run on the bleachers, for, like, the whole practice, which was, like, 3 hours, and people were, like, passing out and, like, throwing up, and it was terrible. So now whenever I'm on the stairs, I, like, flash back to it, and I'm kind of have, like, PTSD about it, and that was, like, the worst. But other than that, I've been able to manage the asthma pretty well. Okay, these are stories that have nothing to do with what we're talking about right now, so I'll get back to that. Let's see. I wrote, one of my notes is just you and your fucking Blake Lively, because I feel like every time we talk about running, you always have to talk about how hot you think Blake Lively is, and you know what, you and Blake Lively should just go get married. No, I'm not mad about it, I just think it's funny that you are so in love with Blake Lively. I didn't know this about you. We should watch Gossip Girl sometime. It's a really terrible show, but, like, their clothes are cute. That time when I sneezed in the video and you didn't hear the sneeze, it was not a sneeze. I think I was burping. Like, I do that sometimes when I've got, like, burp. So, yeah, that's it. You should know that I'm always down to watch Tales from the Crypt. Always. Because I fucking love Tales from the Crypt. Whenever you want to watch it. And since you mentioned that, I just want to... There are a lot of episodes that you probably hate. There are episodes, like, I don't particularly like, and some of them get, like, unnecessarily inappropriate, like... So I don't really care for it, because it's less about story and more about naked women, so that's too bad. They have, like, different directors for every episode. But since you said that, this is gonna be, like, my last story, and I'll come back and, like, do the rest of this video later, but there's this really great episode called Dig That Cat, He's Real Gone, which is, like I was saying, one of those titles. Oh, man. And it's about this magician guy, who gets hit by a car, I want to say, and then he meets this, like, kind of crazy doctor guy, who he brings him back to life, because he, like, dies or he gets hit by a car. He brings him back to life using he, like, puts the brain of a cat in him, and because cats have 9 lives, like, he comes back and then he has more lives. So they like strike up this partnership where he goes and he does all these death-defying stunts, but actually like he is killing himself, and just coming back to life. And it's really cool because he's able to like do all of these tricks that you're like, oh my god, he should like be dead, because he like is, and the audience is like, oh, and they become really rich and successful. And then sorry I'm spoiling all these episodes, but it's fine, we could still watch it, it's still gonna be good. But at the end of the episode, he does like this trick where he is like buried alive, and because he thinks that he has one more life before he has to retire, but he forgets that he lost a life when he was hit by the car at the beginning of the episode, so he doesn't have any more lives. And he realizes that while he's like, after everyone's gone for the night, and he's like underground, and he like for real dies. But I don't know, it's a really cool episode. And I, at this point in my life when I was watching that episode, this is one of those things that I was talking about in the last video that like I always thought to be true and no one ever corrected me on. I genuinely thought that cats had 9 lives, and I remember the day that I found out that wasn't true, and I had to have been like 12, and I was sitting on my bed and I was looking at a cat in the middle of the road out of my window. A cat had gotten hit by a car, and I was thinking, cats have 9 lives, so that cat's gonna be fine. And then I was like, wait a minute, that doesn't make any sense. Cats can't have 9 lives. That makes no sense. And I had never like thought critically about it. I just like always thought, oh yeah, cats have 9 lives. I was like, I had like an existential crisis about it. Like, where's Santa Claus? And I had to like tell myself that this is not correct. Anyway, I'm gonna go to work now. But this has been lit. There's gonna be a part 2 to this video where I discuss like the rest of the things on my list, because there's like a lot more things. But this has been great. Good talking to you. Good looking out, fam. And I'll see you later. Bye.